And we are live. Welcome everyone. It's great to see you guys in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Streaming live to you today from Vancouver, British Columbia is myself, Maria, and I'm here to talk about a huge Python milestone, the PyScript framework. Now, I already see that you guys are arguing in the comments whether it's going to replace JavaScript or not. So we will begin this video with a quick demonstration of what PyScript is, and we will then talk about the significance of it, okay? Now, first of all, I wanted to say hi to everybody who are joining us. Thank you, Beluga. Hi, Amir, Sajad, and oh, wow, there's so many people. So hi, everyone. I'm getting all those comments in delay. And another significance of today's stream is the fact that I am streaming across 3 different platforms. This time we are streaming across Rumble, we are streaming across Twitter, I hope, as well as YouTube. So I'm checking to see if it works nicely. And let's see in the comments if you guys can hear me well. Good morning, Ismanuel. Ryuya. I don't know how to pronounce Ryuya, but I know your first name. And hello to Josh. What? Oh, Aiden, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Aiden, you're spoiling me. You're absolutely amazing. I'm super excited to see you guys. So let's start with covering this framework first, and then I will dive into your comments and we will talk in detail about. Wow, I see some amazing opinions here. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. This will be a really nice stream for all of us to figure out PyScript together because it's so new that it doesn't even have a documentation. So all of us are shooting in the dark here, and I really appreciate your input. If you already experimented with it, that will be awesome. You guys can help me a lot with figuring out how to run it. So let's see how PyScript works first. So let's go ahead and take a look at the main website where we can either download or install it. However, in terms of downloading, we don't really need to install it on our computer. We simply copy 2 lines of code similarly to Bootstrap, and that's how it works. So let's quickly jump into the demonstration, and then we can talk about the code. So we will first click on this project home, which gets us to the GitHub repository of PyScript. And here we can then go ahead and jump onto the sorry, guys, I cannot see half of the screen here. So we will jump in. I had it earlier, getting started tutorial. Sorry, guys. Okay. So what we'll do here is we will copy a code snippet from here, and we will see how it looks like on our computer. Now, in my case, I would like to see the one with Numpy and matplotlib, because we have just covered Numpy on this channel. And I would really love to see how it runs in our HTML document. Okay, so let's copy this entire block of code. We will then open a text editor. In my case, I'm using Sublime. We will then paste it inside Sublime, and we will save this beauty as an HTML file. So let's go ahead and navigate to a folder on our computer. I already had it open earlier. PyScript stream. Sorry, guys, technical issues I should have taken care of earlier, but I'm just starting the streaming experience. The second time around we're doing this. And in the folder of your choice, we will then save it as index.html. And then we can go ahead and run this file. So the way to run it, we do not need to use a terminal. We do not need to access Conda. We do not need to do anything besides just double clicking on this file. And there you go. So this is loading at this point of time, and I'm sure that all of you guys can recognize this beautiful plot. This is how we usually plot graphs in Python. Wow. And now we can do this inside an HTML document. Whew. Very significant. We will get excited about it a bit more later on. Okay, so what happened here? We have those 2 lines of code, which is the script and the link tags. And inside them, we have all the code that PyScript needs to run. Okay, so it's very similar to Bootstrap. It's very similar to jQuery, to things we are already using for years inside our HTML documents. But now we are able to use Python as well. So we have 2 new tags, 2 that I am aware of at this point of time. It could be more, it could be way more. So for now, we are dealing with the pyenv tag, which is brand new. And inside it, we specify the requirements. So for example, that would be the installations of the libraries we need. And inside the PyScript tag right below, which we put inside the body of our document, we will then specify some Python code. And I'm sure you guys are recognizing the import numpy as NP. It's been a while since we've covered matplotlib. I'll be honest with you guys, since I discovered that that pandas can plot graphs, I rarely use the matplotlib way. So yeah, it's very nostalgic when I look at it. Now, another interesting thing is, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed it, but here, whenever we are calling our plot, we simply type fig, right? So realistically, if now we comment everything and we create some kind of a variable, let's call it my string. Okay, and let's assign it to hello, can you see this? Okay, so realistically, we don't have to print it according to this law that we've seen earlier. So if we just type my string without the print statement, it should appear on the page. At least I hope so. Okay, let's check. Let's rerun this code, and we will press on Control while we are refreshing. So we can refresh the cache. And there you go. Hello, can you see this? Is being on the page. Even though we didn't actually print it, we should have said, print my string, right? But we don't have to do this because the same laws that apply on a Jupyter notebook, for example, apply here too. So the last variable we are just declaring is being automatically printed, which is crazy. It's really, really nice. I love it. Now, let's jump in quickly on the comments. Let's see what you guys are saying there. And we will then move on with some demonstrations of how to connect CSS, how to connect JavaScript, how just to use it, how to combine it with our PyScript. And I will also show you guys how to fetch variables from your JavaScript into your PyScript, which is also a thing that we can do at this point of time. Now, there's a lot of limitations to what we can do because there is no documentation. So all the people who are covering this, including myself, are just shooting in the dark. And I think that this is a very, very fun part of it. And yeah, I hope you guys are excited about it too. I know that some of you have already experimented with it. And I hope your projects already look great. But yeah, let's have a look in the comments. So let's go up. Okay, let's see. So Sayad is torturing himself with Django. So the significance of this PyScript framework is that we don't really need Django. Well, we do need it for the server-side language. We do need it for the backend, but we don't have to use it at this point of time. So yeah, we can skip Django at this point of time. We can skip Flask. It's incredible. Okay, so JavaScript is never rest in peace. It is born as Node.js. Interesting. Dobbs, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. I'm super happy to see you here. Hello, everybody. Okay, it will take years for it to dominate JavaScript, as currently it lacks a lot of features and also very slow. At this point of time, you're absolutely right. However, only 2 weeks ago, it was announced by Anaconda that this is something that we can actually do. Imagine yourself what will happen in a year, what will happen in 2 years, because the amount of things we can do with Python is incomparable to the amount of things we can do with JavaScript. And I love JavaScript. I've used it for many, many years. It's a great language. But in JavaScript, I cannot train an artificial intelligence model so easily and so fast as we can do it with Python. And there's so many other things that Python can do that JavaScript can't, for example, desktop applications and things of that sort. So in terms of functionality, I think that Python has the upper hand. And as soon as everybody figures out how to run it properly in the browser, because we only now have this ability, I think that the sky is the limit. Now let's see what Tobbs is saying. I think before this can happen, browsers need to run WebAssembly without JavaScript. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a curve until it gets there, for sure. It's something that at this point of time is only a matter of potential. And again, once we'll see a proper documentation, we'll be able to grasp the entire idea of PyScript. But it just, I'll be honest with you guys, it is so significant. It is such a major development that even when we don't have all the details, I think it's very important to talk about it. And yeah, I had to experiment with it. I know it's a first impressions tutorial, but you guys, I couldn't help myself. I just had to. Let's see. No one is expecting it to dominate. Just to give us some choice client side. Exactly. At this point of time. But in the future, I do expect it to dominate. Sorry, guys. I am very biased when it comes to Python, and I have a really good feeling about it. Maybe it's just intuition, but yeah. Cool. Let's see what else we have here. More assembly C# questions. We have Riley, who is amazing. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for helping out myself in this channel. I end up putting all the money back into Python Simplified. I end up buying new equipment and a lot of cool things. So thank you, Riley. If you wonder who's in charge of all those microphones and all those fancy acoustic boards, that's Riley. And that's Aiden Riley. Okay, thank you so much. Let's see who else is here. Okay. Yeah, this is a really nice topic. I agree. This is something we need to try out. And at this point of time, it's only a matter of trying. It's not production ready. People are not using it for actual applications. It's just for private things, for our family, things that you can share with friends. And I think that one of the biggest significance of this is that we can now share Python much more easily. We don't really need to convert it into an executable file at this point of time. We can just send it as an HTML document, and even our grandma will be able to figure it out. Just double click, and there you go. Here's our application. Cool. Oh, so it looks like we are not live on Twitter. Sorry, guys. Just figuring out this system. I'm using a really cool streaming application. It's called StreamYard. And I'm trying to combine this stream to run on several platforms. You get some, you lose some. Oh, and look, KVMD is here. That's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. So it's great. I see you on Twitter all the time. Thank you for following me back, and thank you for tuning in. If you guys are wondering, I have some really nice tutorials on KVMD. Check out my GUI playlist. You'll see in there, it's a mobile application. I believe it's a converter of binary to decimal and decimal to binary. And you can also turn it into a mobile application with some further tutorials of mine. So check it out. I agree with Balbino. This could be a game changer, and I'm pretty sure it is a game changer. It's just that at this point of time, we don't have enough details to establish this. It is brand new, completely new. Only 2 weeks ago, it was announced by Anaconda. And yes, Anaconda are the people in charge of all this. Thank you very much, you guys. This is big. Okay, let's see what Neil is saying. Don't forget, there's likely to be more relevant info under Pyodide. I've looked at Pyodide, and I'll be honest with you guys. Some things, when things seem a bit overcomplicated at first to me, I kind of lose interest, okay? Because I'll tell you what, I've seen a thread in the forums of, I believe it was the forums of Anaconda. Somebody was asking of how to fetch elements from JavaScript into Python. And the way to do this is so easy, so easy. And then the follow-up question was, how would you do the same fetching elements from Python into JavaScript? And in the answer, they gave a link. Actually, I might have it open here. Sorry, guys. I want to show you all this material that I've been collecting. Yes, I do have it here. Aha. So this was the thread I was reading. Okay, so the question was how to import from JavaScript into Python, which is extremely easy. I'll show you a demonstration after. And then there was a link to the Pyodide library. And in here, in the very, very end, you can see how to do the opposite. Now, this is not nearly as easy as the first answer to the thread. And I tried running this. It didn't work for me. Maybe I don't understand it well. Maybe something doesn't add up. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Pyodide at this point of time. Maybe with time, I'll become a much bigger fan of it. I don't know. But to me, it seems a bit scary. So if we'd like to do the same with PyScript, we will simply open a script tag, which is where we write JavaScript in an HTML document. So script. Okay. And inside of it, we can run all kinds of JavaScript commands. So the only thing I'll do is I'll create a variable, and we will call it my string. Actually, my string 2, because we already have my string in Python. I don't want to get confused. And we will then assign it to PyScript is awesome. So how exactly? Oh, sorry, a semicolon in the end, because JavaScript is no Python. Okay, so what we'll do is we will fetch this variable into PyScript. So the way to do this is to say from JS import my string 2. That's it. Okay. I hope I remember it right, you guys. Okay. And I hope I have no typos. So basically, if we'd like to now print this with Python, we can just say my string 2, I believe. And this will replace the existing text with the text from JavaScript. Okay, so let's run this file. PyScript is awesome. There you go, you guys. So we have fetched a JavaScript variable into PyScript, and it was so easy that I want to cry. Okay, now to compare it with how Pyodide suggests us to do so, let's say importing JavaScript objects into Python, right? It's not as easy. Look at this. So many code snippets. Like, okay, so when I see it, I assume that there must be a better way. And if it means that I need to wait until there's a proper documentation, I'm going to wait. Okay, let me know your thoughts. I don't know. You might be not as lazy as me. I'm very spoiled when it comes to a simplicity of code. So yeah, let's keep looking at the comments. I want to see what else you guys are saying. So we had the Pyodide comment, and what else? Do we have any interesting questions? Ooh, you guys, so many comments. Wow, thank you. I really appreciate you being here. This is awesome. I didn't really notify anybody about the stream. Nobody was aware of it, and yet you guys showed up. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. So I see that you guys are talking to each other with the comments. So quickly, let me show you guys how to work with CSS as well. Okay, because right now our page looks really ugly, really ugly. Okay, so I've commented out this section, all the imports. Okay, so let's do something interesting. So first of all, let's create a style tag, which is where we write CSS. Now, keep in mind that what I'm showing you guys on the same HTML document is not how we usually do it. We usually split each of our languages into a different document. And I'm assuming that PyScript will have the exact same ability because, I don't know, it seems weird to combine several languages on one file. It's something we don't really do. It's not very modular to do. And yeah, we used to do it before. When I was 12 and I first started working with HTML, we had to combine CSS on the same document. But what if the same page, what if we are working with 10 different pages and they have the same design? What are we going to do? Are we going to just copy and paste this entire code on each and every one of those 10 pages? Or we'll just link them to the exact same file? Makes a bit more sense, okay? So here, I'm giving you a slightly bad example, but just for the sake of demonstration, we will run CSS inside a style tag. So the way to run CSS, we will first select a tag, which we have with HTML. So let's select the body tag. Okay, we'll type body. And then we will open a set of curly brackets where we will pass some commands. So the first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to change the background color. And you already see there's a lot of suggestions that Sublime and Atom and all kinds of different text editors give us. So we'll go for the background color and we'll set it to hot pink. Why? Because I'm a girl. Okay, I like hot pink. Okay, let's see. Beautiful. Okay, now it's hot pink. It was purplish before. It was very weird. Okay, in the same manner, we can set the color of our text with color to white. Okay, if we rerun this code, pressing on Control as well. Control and rerun, because if you don't do this, our cache is not going to be updated. We will just keep pulling the exact same design from the cache. Cool. Now we have this. So for example, what else can we do with let's say what can we do with JavaScript? So with CSS, we give a style to our page. So what do we do with JavaScript? Well, we do user-side interactions, client-side interactions. Sorry, guys, I'm so excited to see you all here. So I'm getting speakos. Okay, so what do I mean by client-side interactions? Well, I have this page design and I have all kinds of elements with it. But if the user is clicking on one of those elements, it has the ability to change the state of the website, the state and the appearance. So for example, we can create here some kind of an image. Let's create an image and let's give it a source. I actually have a ready file inside this folder. So let's just copy. That would be logo PNG. It's just the logo from one of my applications. Okay, and we will also create a button. We'll actually give this image an ID of logo. And right underneath, we will create a button. And the reason why I'm showing this to you guys is because I know you're mostly comfortable with PyScript, with Python, but I don't know how comfortable you are with HTML and CSS. It's languages that we learn in the very beginning, but not everybody starts from there. A lot of people started from C, C++ and things of that sort. So that's why I'm showing this extra step of what JavaScript actually is in terms of a website. So we have this button, and we will say click me on this button, and let's give it an ID as well. So button ID equals BPN, just in case. Okay. So then what we do, let's just refresh everything and let's see if it works on the page. Okay, so my image is not being displayed. Of course, because I have a typo, SRC, image source, not SCR. Okay, now if we rerun it, we have my logo from the Say Hello Halloween Edition application. You can find it on my GitHub. It's very striking because it's pink. So maybe let's change the background color to something more gray. So let's say gray, dark gray. Yes, that should look good. Okay, makes a bit more sense now. So if we click on this button, nothing happens right now because we need to add a callback to this button. So let's type, where's my button? Button on click, and we will then call a function which we didn't create yet. So that would be my callback, an empty set of round brackets, and we will then create this function inside JavaScript. So we'll scroll to the script tag, and we will then type function, my callback. Okay, and inside this function, what we will do is we will select the image on this page. We will select this element, and we will get it to disappear. Okay, so the way to do this is to type document, select element by ID, I believe. Let me double check that I'm doing this right. Let's see. I actually have some demo code in here, which I prepared in advance. Sorry, guys. Oh, let's have a look. Let's have a look inside. I don't want to give you wrong instructions. So let's open it with Sublime as well. There you go. Yeah, so get element by ID. I was right. Perfect. Not select, get. Sorry. Okay. See, I always gave you wrong instructions. Get element by ID. And it's okay to forget some commands. It's fine. We're human. Okay, and the ID we're looking for would be, that would be the image ID of logo. There you go. Okay, so we will type logo. Tom, thank you so much. Yay! Thanks for joining the stream. I can see your super chat. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead in the ID. Actually, the only way I can see the screen is if I'm looking at your comments and at the screenshot of myself talking. Because I don't know if you guys know how my setup looks like. I have a camera in the middle of my screen, so it kind of blocks my entire vision. So it's very, very interesting. It's very, very interesting how things look like when you don't see it. It's not as fancy as you would imagine it is. Okay, so we will type here logo, which is the ID of our image. Okay, and we will then set the style of this element and the style particularly of its display. Okay, and we will set it to none. Okay, let's see. So once we press the button, our image should disappear. Okay, that if I done everything right. Cool, so let's click on the button. It doesn't work. I messed something up, you guys. Okay, let's see what I messed up. I have here the second piece of code as an example. Okay, document get element by ID, style, display, none. Huh. You know what, guys? It should be working. It should be working. Let's see. Okay, let me just show you the other example then. I don't know what didn't work here. Yeah, something is messed up. So yeah, let's see the second example. It's this guy. We click on the click me and the image disappears. So this is what we do with JavaScript. So originally we had this image on the site, and as a result of a user interaction, this image disappeared. Okay, and this was the code I used for this file. Just so you guys have a quick look. Yeah, I don't know what went wrong before. Maybe the fact that the button had an ID. I'm not sure. The function name is misspelled. Thank you, Lamar. Okay, let's verify that, because I am very obsessed with fixing things that I couldn't fix earlier. So let's fix it. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I just reinstalled my Windows, so a lot of things are not working on default. And I'll be doing this one more time. I've actually upgraded my computer with another SSD, one that is much faster. Yeah, thank you, Aiden. It was actually that was where Aiden's investment went to. And yeah, I don't know. I cannot stop upgrading my computer. I cannot stop. It just keeps happening. So that's the problem when you have a custom build. You just keep expanding it. And yeah, somebody needs to take away my Amazon account as soon as possible. So yeah, so callback. Okay, that's the name of the function. And we need to make sure. Yeah, this is not matching my typo. Thank you so much for letting me know. Wow. Okay. Sorry for this, you guys. That's the problem with live streaming. You don't notice typos on time. Okay, and now if we rerun the original index HTML file, if we click on the click me button, the image disappears. Now, one problem I see here. The button doesn't look like a button at all. Okay, and actually header 1 doesn't look like a header at all. So I think one of the first steps that PyScript needs to figure out is how to make the browser present the elements properly. Okay, because if we look at the second example, which wasn't really using PyScript, it was using just regular JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. The button looks like a button. The header looks like a header. So that's one of the curves we will need to bypass. Other than that, it's really impressing, because so far the way to run a Python script that on a website was basically to access Flask or Django or things of that sort. So we could only run it as a server-side language. So it's something that represented the backend. But now we can use it on the front end as well. So yeah, JavaScript at this point of time is here to stay. It's not dying yet. But I'm just curious, what do you guys think will happen in about a year? How about 2 years? Do you guys have any predictions or any hypothesis of where this is going? Because I don't know. For me, what I'm mostly looking forward is to see PyTorch and TensorFlow being incorporated here. Now, so far, we cannot use it as the libraries that we import, right? Because we have those imports here, the pyenv script. And the only libraries you can use there at this point of time, and you can find this link in the description, is something you can use with Pyodide. Okay, so this is the full list. Now, yeah, we have here Jinja too, which we are familiar with from Flask. We have here all kinds of nice libraries, such as Beautiful Soup. We can do some web scraping as well. Actually, we have an upcoming web scraping tutorial, which will be amazing. We will create a Twitter bot, because a lot of people are talking about Twitter bots at this point of time. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's already 95% built. I ran into some issues, but I'm solving them. If you guys want to find out more about it, there is a thread on my Twitter page. Ali and myself were talking about it over there, so you can definitely join in. Can give us some of your points of view as well. So what else that is interesting in terms of the libraries we can use with PyScript? Let's see. Something I recognize, something that is interesting. Okay, LXML is familiar. I've used it before. Numpy, of course. OpenCV. Awesome, cool. So this is an open, this is a computer vision library. I have a bunch of tutorials on it on my channel. There's Pandas, of course. We need to have Pandas. If you guys want to see a demonstration of how we can print a Pandas data frame, let me know. Actually, we'll do it in just a bit. I decided. I will let you know. What else do we have here? I've seen something interesting. Yeah, scikit-learn. That's the one. Okay, so scikit-learn is a machine learning library. Now, unlike PyTorch and TensorFlow, they are much more dealing with deep learning. Machine learning is something we can actually do right now with PyScript, but potentially. I don't know how to do this just yet, okay? Because we don't have a documentation. But if we start experimenting, if we start exploring it, that will be really, really cool. So yeah, we can do a scikit-learn type of a project. Okay, what else is here? SSL. We imported it in our Pandas, web scraping with Pandas tutorial, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I have also noticed here regex and natural language processing libraries, but I'm just curious, how would you download, for example, when we work with NLTK, we need to download the punctuation symbols and the stop words. I just wonder what kind of a mechanism would allow us to download these with this pyenv tech. Questions that we need to answer. I tried playing around with this. I tried importing it. It didn't work. Okay, so again, shooting in the dark. Sometimes you hit the target, sometimes you don't, right? But so far, that's how it works. Now, in order to create a data frame, so for example, what if we have a bunch of data right now, we have fetched it from some kind of a CSV file, and we want to present it on a page nicely. Okay, so one of the things we can do is we can first import pandas SPD. And we can then create a dictionary of values. So let's call it my dict. Okay, and we will assign it to a dictionary where the first value is Maria. Okay, my height is 1.67. The second value is Batman. Okay, his height is about 2 meters. I don't know Batman, really. We're just guessing with him. And then SpongeBob, right? That's the usual combination I'm using to demonstrate lists and dictionaries. And SpongeBob is about 0.3. So like Sponge tall. Kind of Tubbs wants the Terminator. Well, probably that's 3 meters at least. I don't know. Don't know any Terminators yet. Okay, soon we will. Tesla is already working on a bunch. Nick Lute. So Nick here is the one. I believe you asked me about how to fetch elements from JavaScript into Python, and I don't know if you've been here in the beginning of the stream, but you do it very, very simply. You simply create a variable inside inside your script, and then you import it into PyScript with from.js import my variable. And that's it. You can now use it inside your Python as well. So very, very straightforward. Okay, so we're inside Pandas, and we have created a dictionary, and now we would like to create a Pandas data frame out of it. So we will call our data frame data, and we will assign it to pd.dataframe, and then we will use the from dict method from dictionary, and we will then, first of all, we'll pass my dict as the first value, and second of all, I can't remember how this thing is called. Orientation. So the orientation would be index, because if we don't specify it, it may be a bit messy. Okay, so we have specified it, and now our data frame should look nice. Now, if we simply type data in the very end, we do not need to print it, as it's the last command we are including. We should see it on our page. Okay, so let's go back to index.html. Let's refresh it. Oh, okay. No module name Pandas. Aha, you know why? I'll tell you why, because we did not include Pandas here. Haha. Okay, so remember that in order to import a module, we need to specify it first inside the pyenv tag. Yes, it kind of reminds me of PyScript, because very often, instead of just installing things in a terminal with pip install Numpy, for example, I can just specify inside a special requirements file. So there's usually a special requirements file, and then you just type the name of the module there. So this is very similar to what I'm using with PyScript. It's just that instead of ooh, she's an alien. Okay, I need to remove this comment. Sorry, I didn't notice it's here. Okay, let's say that it's not the death of JS. Okay, we'll keep that as a comment here. Badger, I think you're right. It's not dead just yet, but my hypothesis that in about 5 years there will be much less people using it than right now. I love JavaScript. I use it all the time. Okay, this is something I use for school. This is something I use for website. You know, I used it as a teenager as well. And in the end of the day, it's a great language, but I cannot compare it with Python. Something inside me just finds Python much more easy to use, especially in terms of all the curly brackets and all those semicolons. Something about it just doesn't come as intuitive as just not having them. I don't know, but maybe I'm weird. Let me know what you guys think. So let's go ahead and refresh this page, where now our Pandas data frame should appear. And yeah, there you go. Here's our data frame. Now, it's not styled. It doesn't look very good, okay? Why is it? Because we did not use CSS to style it. So we will open CSS then, okay? We will go to our style tag, and actually let's change the color of our web page to something a bit darker, because at this point of time, it's not dark enough as far as I'm concerned. So let's change it to black, okay? That should be a bit nicer with a bigger contrast. And now let's set a border to our table. Now, the way to do so, first, let's find out how this table looks like. Okay, so we will open the developer tools. So basically a right click anywhere on the page and then inspect. Okay, now we can then select this beautiful select an element on the page icon, and we will then click on this table of ours. So we can see that it's located inside a div element, which is called plot1. This div element is under plot. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we have a div here that is called plot. And this is where all our PyScript code is included. Okay, so every element we create is created inside a special div. So div plot1, okay, this is the first div that stores our table. Okay, so we can see that the table border is 1, but besides it, there's really no other styling going on. Okay, so how we can do this? First, let's select the table element. And actually, let's select the TH and the TD, table header and table data as well. Sorry, std. And let's set their border to be, let's say, 1 pixel, solid, and white. Okay. See how it looks like. Start off. Oh, beautiful. And now we have styled our table. I don't know if you guys see it very well. Let's just enlarge the screen even further. Oh, better. I need to turn you off. Okay, I'm just going to show and hide another comment, and there you go. We can see it here. Cool. So let's create some padding as well. Let's have a padding of 10, which is basically what we have inside the element. So this is the distance of inside the element, and we have margin, which is the distance around the element. So for margin, we will also set it to 10 pixels all the way around. Okay, let's rerun it. Now it's going to be in a better location. Whew. Cool. So you see, we have now the margin, which is around the table. It's no longer starting from the very edge. And then inside, we have also added some padding. And this is the distance you see in here, in those parts. Okay, cool. So the amount of things we can do with PyScript at this point of time is not limited at all. The only problem is we don't exactly know how to do it. We still don't have the documentation at this point of time. And once we have it, everything will become so much easier. Okay, cool. So let's jump into the comments. Hello, Siam. Welcome, welcome. Now, okay, let's see what Ryu is saying. It's funny that last week YouTube's algorithm suggested me CSS tutorials, and here you are teaching Python to HTML. So much to learn. Yeah, right? YouTube algorithm knows me very well. I don't know how it happens. Okay, I am waiting for WebAssembly and Blazor. Give us back C# in the browser. Okay, C# in the browser. Also very interesting. Also nice. I don't know C#. I only know C++. Okay, so JavaScript is good for client side or server side both. Don't. Wow. Okay, so I didn't notice the F word. Sorry. Again, Python is also something that can be used both for server side and both for client side. It's it's not something that is a secret. And Python is a bit more powerful. Now, at this point of time, Python is a bit slower. That's right. But only 2 weeks ago, this technology was announced. So what do you expect from it, right? You cannot be so picky. Now, I am particularly excited about this because I don't know if you guys have heard, but I was planning to start a Python for Kids series. And I didn't want kids to start installing Python on their computer before they start learning it. It's a bit too much. I don't think they would have the patience to do it. And same goes for like using a service that you need to have an account and a username for. That made things very complicated. So right now with PyScript, I can simply tell the kids how to run this code on their computer without installing anything. Just copy and paste 2 lines of code, and that's it. You have access to Python. Now, in terms of shareability as well, we can share it much easier. And, when it comes to, in the end of the day, what was the biggest limit of Python, as we have created all kinds of calculations, we've created all kinds of plot, and it was really nice, but it didn't look like a very professional presentation. And that way, when we combine it with HTML and CSS, we can create a very professional presentation, right? So this, when we had the first example of this plot from earlier, this is not something we could do earlier before this announcement. But so yeah, this is very, very significant. And I do believe that this might replace JavaScript altogether. It will take some time. I know at this point of time, we're not there yet. But the future will tell, right? It's just my hypothesis, and I'm very biased towards Python. You guys know it, but I don't know. It's just this intuition I've been having for many years, and maybe it will be worth it. I don't know. Cool. So let's see, what else do we have in the comments? Okay, but we typically use Python for data processing. I cannot see how data input and output can be done in a browser. I don't know if we use Python particularly for data processing. I don't know if that's not really the only use. We can do so many different things with Python, not just in terms of data. We can create GUIs, we can create websites. This could be a server language, I don't necessarily agree with the fact that it's just for data processing. We can do so many different things. We can do computer vision. We can, You've seen it on my you've seen it on my channel. We can make bots. We can do very interesting things. So let's see what Tobbs is saying. The creator of Python came up with retirement last year to work at Microsoft. Ah, okay. I think Python and Edge will move closer. Then I will move a bit farther if that's what's going on. I don't know, you guys. I'm not a big fan of Edge. I'm one of the most annoying things every time I'm installing a new version of, like, every time I'm reinstalling Windows is to deal with Edge. It's always your default browser, and it's I don't know, you guys. There's just something about it that is so slow, and it feels wrong. It really feels wrong, but maybe I'm crazy. Okay. We already seen this comment. We already seen this one. Okay. Yeah, if you prefer Python, you can now choose Python. That's right. It gives us the option. So yeah, maybe at this point of time, it's not the smartest thing to do, right? But it's something that we can do for family projects. It's something that we can share with our friends and colleagues without them needing to have some kind of a knowledge in Python, right? So they do not need to use their terminal anymore. They can just open the file you share with them, and that's it. And you don't need to convert your scripts into executables, which is another big benefit. Cool. What else? I think JavaScript is working good, so why are you doing this? JavaScript is working great, right? But it doesn't mean that we need to stop and, stop innovating and not look into different things, right? The beauty about technology is that just because we can do something in a certain way, it doesn't mean that we need to do it forever like that. So we keep innovating, we keep experimenting with different things, and maybe we will figure out the next best thing. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, what else is here? Can you inject results from Python script into JS? We should be able to right now by using Pyodite. Now, I wasn't able to figure out how to do this, and in my opinion, it seems a bit complicated, okay? So you can see the thread here. Actually, I'm going to post it in the comments. I'm going to post this thread here. You guys can access it. It's very, very helpful. So basically, it's a thread of somebody who asked how to fetch items from JavaScript into Python, and then there's an answer here saying how to do the opposite, okay? If you navigate here and you go to the very, very end, you should find a solution here. Now, I think that there must be a better solution. We just don't know it yet, okay? Because something in this Pyodite thing didn't work for me, okay? Maybe I didn't install it well. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't focus on reading it a lot, but yeah, in the end of the day, this is something that we can do right now. I'm just not sure how, okay? Once we have a documentation, I'm sure it will be just as easy as doing the opposite of, declaring a variable in JavaScript and fetching it into Python in a single line of code. That's what I'm expecting it to be. Because in the end of the day, if it's not simple, probably it's not better than JavaScript, right? Because the thing about Python, what makes it so approachable is how simple it is. We're using basically simple English commands to speak to a computer. Usually we would use a very complicated, computer language, something that looks more like machine language. We need to declare the data type of variables and things of that sort. Python gives us the opportunity not to do this. We can be very ambiguous and let Python figure out the rest, okay? And that's where, the injecting results from Python into JavaScript, this is where I would say wait a little bit. Sure, you can experiment. If you can figure it out, please let me know. Reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn or somewhere. Try reaching out to me, and I'm gonna tell everybody else how to do this, because at this point of time, I don't want to show you the overcomplicated way, and I didn't figure it out yet as well. In full disclosure. Okay. So Badger is saying, JavaScript is sticking around for a long time, probably for the duration of the internet. Yeah, I don't think that JavaScript is going anywhere. I think it will still be there. My question is, will it be the main, client-side interaction kind of a language? That's my main question. Because, we can already use Python for the server side, and we can use JavaScript for the server side as well with Node.js. But if Python is going to make this client-side interaction much more easier to do, the syntax will be easier and it will take less time to type, will it take over? And I believe it will, but, everybody else has their own opinions, and I've seen not everybody believes in the same thing, I believe, which is great. Love it. That's why it's so interesting to have a discussion about it. Okay, let's see what else. How are libraries imported on the client side? So there's the pyenv, the tag, which is specifically where we were. Sorry, guys. It's specifically where we. This is basically the installation of those modules. I call it installation because I don't have a proper word to use, but this is where we specify those modules we want to use, and then we import them, right? Import pandas as PD inside the PyScript tag. Okay, and then everything that we generate inside the PyScript tag is then being transferred to this div with the ID of plot, because the PyScript output is equal to plot. So now if we change it to my Python code, and we do the same for the ID, my Python code, there you go. It should work the same. It's just that all those elements that we create, instead of being called plot 1, plot 2, plot 3, they'll be called, they'll be called my Python script. Sorry, guys. Let me just pull it out. Okay, that would be the div ID, my Python code, and then all our elements have disappeared from the page. Sorry, guys. I deleted them. I've done something. Okay, never mind. But the keynote is that this div must match the output. The ID of this div must match the output of the PyScript tag. Yep, cool. What else do we have here? I will attend the funeral of JavaScript. I will too. I'll be very sad. I'll be crying. It will be in a few years, but then I'll be so happy. Long live Python, you know. Okay. Joshua, I will die sooner reading these comments. Okay, cool. Yeah, so there's all kinds of short comments. Let's see what Badger is saying here. Okay, nah, nothing is going to replace JavaScript. It's going to become more like an option for developers. If they rather write Python, they can. If they want to pull in JavaScript library, they still can. Absolutely. It just gives us more powers, right? Cool. Let's see if we have some newer comments. Oh my God, we have so many of them. Okay, guys, what do you think? What would be the best for programming as laptop, MacBook Pro or MacBook Pro Max? Actually, I don't know much about Mac, so I'm not the best person to ask. I do have a MacBook, but I don't use it. It's something my spouse bought about 11 years ago. We spilled tea on it. It fell on the ground many, many times, and surprisingly, it still works. So I think in terms of hardware, Mac is really, really good. In terms of price, however, I don't know. This is where I kind of lose them. You know, I like when things have a good value. And yeah, so one thing about this is, like, I much rather Linux over Mac. I agree with Angel. This is, I think that in terms of, you know, you see me working with Windows usually on my tutorials, because my main computer, my Rogue build, this custom build, this super fancy one I have is, you know, it has an older Lake CPU, and these type of CPUs, they work with Windows 11. You know, any other operating system I'll try to install here is not going to be optimal in my case. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I'm using Windows 11 here. But I don't know if you know this, but all the tutorials you see me presenting here on thank you so much, Josh. Oh, nice. Thank you. Awesome. And Josh is telling you to go to our Discord. Okay, so if right now you go to my channel on YouTube, okay, we'll go to YouTube. Sorry, I have a bunch of comments I haven't replied to yet. Okay, okay, we'll go to your channel, and you can see all kinds of links here. Okay, so my Discord is the second link. Okay, our Discord, and Josh and Badger, you can find them there, and they can help you with all kinds of questions as well. They usually like to help if you're polite and nice. And yeah, so Josh and Badger and Siam is there too. I did not forget about you. Okay, Udbav as well. You can find them on Discord. They are the moderators there, and they're helping with a lot of people, and a lot of people in their code, and Badger is sometimes even doing lessons on Discord. So it's definitely worth to tune in. It's definitely worth to join our little community. Oh, thank you so much, Pranav. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you for all your live chats. This is so exciting, you guys. I didn't expect all this. Thank you for tuning in. I thought it's going to be a super quick stream once again because I didn't tell anybody about it. And all of you guys are here. Thank you. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I'm hoping to make it a more regular thing. I'm hoping to do this once a week. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see with time. I'm going to check if it works on Rumble, if it works on Twitter, what exactly went wrong. If it didn't, and do some troubleshooting. And hopefully this weekend on Saturday, a day before my birthday, okay, hopefully we will build our Twitter bot together. And yeah, and then everything will be really, really cool. Because what mostly I'm interested about in terms of this Twitter bot is, will it be detected by Twitter? And how soon will they be able to delete it? Okay, this is one of the questions I have. And yeah, maybe we'll have some time in the end to talk about it. Well, thank you guys so much for all the live chats, for all the super chats. You guys are absolutely amazing. Pranav, thank you once again. It's incredible. I don't know what this currency is, but thank you so much. It seems like a lot. I don't know. Thank you. I really appreciate your help. I promise to take everything and I'm going to invest it back on the channel, okay? In terms of infrastructure, in terms of new equipment. The only thing I'm missing right now is a nice stand for the camera, because right now, be ready. I'm going to show you what I'm using, okay? So it's a funny story. So when I first started the channel, I got around to 16,000 subscribers. That was around this time. I started to get offers from all kinds of sponsors to work with me, and PyScript was one of them. And before I'm signing any contracts and making any decisions, I had to talk to somebody who knows this YouTube business. So I went to talk with Nick from Linus Tech Tips, and they're just located here in Vancouver. So I went to a nice meeting with him. And in the end of the meeting, I got a bunch of merchandise from Linus Tech Tips. So I got a bunch of bottles. This one, I'm keeping it for my brother who lives overseas. I haven't seen him at this point of time. So they gave me a bunch of really nice bottles that are like storing, you can store hot water, you can store cold water and all these sort of stuff. So the stand for my camera at this point of time is one of these boxes. I have a few of them, and yeah, I told you this is not a very fancy setup at this point of time, but you wouldn't know it. Now you do. Okay, cool. So what is cool? I was talking about something very important, and then we got interrupted by Discord. Yeah, so definitely join our Discord. You can see the link here. There are some very talented developers helping out everybody else, because you guys usually see me as the front person, but this channel is basically a community of people. Well, everything you see in those tutorials, everything that I show you, it's ideas that I got from you. It's requests that I got from you. So everything depends on you just as much as it depends on me. Okay, so a big help in this are the moderators on Discord, particularly Josh, particularly Badger. They're there all the time. We have some Zoom meetings, actually Google Groups meetings or whatever it is. And yeah, this what really helps the channel, takes it one step further. Now, another idea we had, this is something that Badger had, is starting a podcast about tech news. Just something to me is very interesting. Okay, so question. Let's see, any other questions? Okay, Creative Steve, I'm happy you made a Discord finally. Awesome, join us for sure. We're gonna have we have an upcoming code jam, which I was supposed to already take care of, but I didn't. Sorry, guys. I was so busy figuring out this live session thing, and it was tax season for me. So I ended up doing lots of different things that maybe I shouldn't have been doing all this time. But yeah, We are working on the next code jam. We have a really nice bot on Discord that is ready for this code jam. So we no longer need to have any forms. We no longer need to collect any information. You just join the Discord server, and this is where you can see. This is where you can see all the information you need. I'm working on a website. I promised Badger and Josh I'll finish it last week. I did not. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I did not. Sorry, guys. Sorry. That's why I'm not on Discord. I feel so bad telling you that I messed it up. But yeah, cool. So yeah, so that was PyScript. That was the purpose of today's stream. And if you guys have any cool projects you've made with it, please share them with me. Now, I might do something nice for the next tutorial I'll be posting. So just so you guys know, the tutorials I'm working on at the moment, first of all, is a Tkinter tutorial. I promised you a nicer version of the previous one because the font was very, very tiny in the first video I covered. And I don't think I was as confident when I was speaking because it was one of my first few videos and it's one of the most viewed videos I ever had. So hopefully this one will fix your experience. It's going to be a really nice application. It's basically a random recipe application where I show you how to connect a database to your Tkinter application as well. Super easy. Everybody can figure it out. I provide you the database and I might provide you the code to generate it as well. I haven't decided yet. I don't want you guys to web scrape the same website at the same time because that's kind of a distributed denial of service attack, and I don't want to do this to this particular website. But yeah, so let's see. Ooh, there's a question from YouTubers. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so hi Maria, what tips do you recommend to grow my YouTube channel, which is tech related? I started recently. What really worked for me in particular was listening and commenting and replying to people. I don't know, different people have different ways of doing things. Okay, so let me just because we're gonna stay here for a bunch of questions, so I'm gonna enlarge myself and yeah, we can have this nice rogue background that I have here. Okay, it's a bit better because you wouldn't be able to see my face with all the comments. So yeah, listening to your viewers, even if you don't have many of them, ask them, what do you want to see? What's the next project you want me to explore? So I don't know, is that a tutorials channel, Mirko? Is that a tutorials channel or some kind of a podcast or things of that sort? It's very important because if it's something entertaining, if you're talking about tech in an entertaining point of view, you can grow your channel in all kinds of stuff. You can grow it on different platforms. Like you can expand to Twitter. You can advertise on Facebook groups. There's a really nice Facebook group just called Python. It's ran by Fred Nora. I used to be a moderator there. The first few videos that I've been filming, I've been posting there when I still had a Facebook. Okay, so I posted a bunch of videos. I got a lot of nice feedback on them. And the first few subscribers of my channel, they came from this Facebook group. So this is what started it for me. Now, from my perspective, I don't do really entertaining stuff. I do educative things. So people are not, just because they're bored, they're watching my, Numpy tutorial. No, they do this because they want to get advanced in something. They want to understand something. They want to, it's projects that we have to do. It's not something we choose to do. Okay, if I was talking about technology in terms of like, oh, look at this new innovation, let me tell you about what's so cool about artificial intelligence and machine learning, it's these sort of stuff are easier to watch. These sort of stuff have a bigger audience, and a lot of people who are, people will not specifically look for your videos. Yeah, so you'll be able to advertise them everywhere. Okay, I'm just reading the comment from Aiden. What? You're absolutely entertaining. I come here for your laugh and humor. Thank you so much, Aiden. I don't know. I feel like it's something that if I was talking about things that are more not as informative, I feel like there'll be a much bigger audience involved. And I'm happy that we don't have this big audience involved. I'm happy that we have this group of people that is growing, slowly growing. But then I remember your faces. I remember your profile pictures. I'm able to remember where you work, where you live, things you told me. So I do enjoy this type of conversation. And I think that in my particular case, this is why people are watching. This communication with each other, the fact that we are a community, okay? I don't present it like, hey, Maria, I will tell you everything you need. No, we together will figure out everything we need to take it further, okay? So if you need motivation, I'm not the only one who can motivate you. There are so many different people who can do the same thing. And whoever motivates you is perfect, And in terms of growing your channel, I'm not a good example because I'm not focusing much on growth. So yeah, right now I'm trying to stream it across Twitter. I'm trying to stream it across different platforms. But in the end of the day, growth needs to happen when you're ready for it. Okay, not just in terms of equipment, not just in terms of confidence in how you speak. Okay, also in terms of mental. You need to prepare for it mentally because it's not an easy journey. You look at it from the side and you see, okay, well, 90,000 subscribers, that's a lot of people, okay? That means that, you walk on the street and somebody's like recognizing you. No, nobody knows who you are, okay? Only you guys know who I am. But if I go out on the street, nobody recognizes me. And the more you do this, the more you expect from yourself. So I know that you guys are very easygoing. If I mess something up, you guys forgive me, but I don't forgive myself. The more time passes, the more professional you get. You expect things that you didn't expect earlier. Are you guys calling me mom? What's going on? Python mom, mother of Pythons. I allow you. This is actually my stream. This is my stream nickname, mother of Pythons. Okay, let's see. I've seen some questions here before. Let's go over them. Can you make series on chess in Python? Full disclosure, I don't really know how to play chess. I've learned it as I was a kid. And that's it. I forgot. My grandfather taught it when I was much, much younger. Sorry. I need to learn chess first, and only then I can commit to something like that. At this point of time, no, we can make a Sudoku series, okay? That's one of the projects I was planning with Numpy. So there's actually, that's what I was talking about earlier. So we had the Kinter application, and on top of that, I'm working on a Numpy practice tutorial because we had this very dry tutorial going through all the different commands that Numpy can do. And now I want you guys to do something fun to practice it. So we will do some Numpy images. We will design first some black and white images, then we'll design some colorful images, and I'll show you exactly how to do this. So it's a very interactive tutorial. And one of the things we can do with Numpy, which is also something I'm really looking forward to, is a Sudoku game. If you guys remember, there's the fill, diagonal, and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be really, really interesting. Okay. Let's see. I had some other questions. Are you versed in any other programming language besides Python? In C++, yes. And I'm still studying. I'm doing my degree in computer science. I'm pretty sure I'll be learning some other programming languages. I also know JavaScript. And some JavaScript libraries as well, like jQuery, P5.js. It's things that I've learned in school. Cool. What else? Could you please give some examples on Django plus PyScript? Do you really need PyScript if you use Django? I don't know. Well, just, the thing about it, just try to experiment with it. Just try to copy those 2 lines of code and see if it works. But I wouldn't want to get things as complicated as using Django and PyScript. I don't know, because you do have a Python backend in Django, so I don't know. Try it. Let me know if it works. I think I don't think it's something that is necessary in the case of Django, but give it a try. Hey, teacher, I got a question. Do you like to go hackathon? I never done a hackathon. I never participated in one. Maybe one day I will. Maybe. Who knows? Okay. Can you make a series on? Oh, yeah, I read it. On series on chess. There's a bunch of these questions here. Okay. Amazing idea with a podcast. I like to listen to your videos while working. Podcast would be much appreciated. Wow, that's awesome. It's great to know. For sure, I'll definitely look into it. I thought to open a separate channel for that and to do it from that perspective. But yeah, the more comments I'll see encouraging for this podcast thing, the faster it will happen. I just need to figure out how to do this properly. I need to send some nice equipment to Josh and Badger as well. Badger, I'd never seen him with a camera. I only heard his voice. Josh has a nice camera, but we need to hook them up with some nice microphones before we do that, and get them to agree to join. That's that's another thing. I didn't even ask. They looked interested, so okay. What else? Hi, Maria. Can you please share about the future of PyScript? We don't know yet. We don't know yet, but as far as I'm concerned, the sky is the limit. What to me would be the most exciting part is to see PyTorch implemented with PyScript. If we could combine a deep learning framework such as PyTorch or TensorFlow, we're gonna go into crazy scientist mode. I promise you. This is gonna be an insane journey for us. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna take more time than just a few months, so we'll see. At this point of time, it's just hypothesis, but I think that if we are jumping on board and if we are joining and contributing these type of libraries, that would happen faster. Okay, so it's all up to us in the end of the day as well. If we create the buzz about it, and I've seen some buzz about it on Twitter. People were talking about it, people were sharing it because it was announced during PyCon. And people who attended the PyCon, they started sharing it. And then people who didn't attend, they were like, wow, this is crazy. I have to try it. So it kind of, the rumor spreads. But at this point of time, you're not going to see a lot of tutorials about it because, I don't know, in my case, I prefer to see the documentation first. I prefer to know for a fact that I'm teaching you something right. And only then I'm covering this. If I don't know if 100% of what I'm doing is 100% correct, I prefer to wait. Okay. That's just me. Some other people, I've seen some videos on it already. I wish she have your glasses on you so you look so different. Yeah, I usually wear glasses. It's something that you guys don't know. But when I wear glasses, you can see all the reflections of light. You don't really see my eyes. And that's one of the reasons why I don't see the screen very well. I'm 50% blind. No, I'm joking. 5% blind, maybe. Okay, what else do I have here? Misha. Thanks for the intro to PyScript and the time you spent researching it. So I wish I had more to research. I wish I had I wish I had some kind of a different source where I can really go over step by step everything. I don't have the source yet, but thank you so much. I appreciate the comment. What else is here? Raspberry Pi. I did not try it yet. It's really cool. Is it? Yeah, one day I might, because I do see it a lot in the comments, and I think that people are using it to practice programming or robotics even. I'm not sure. I need to look into it. But yeah, I will. Cool. So the Discord has grown massively. Fair play. Thank you, Tobbs. You still didn't join. I didn't see you there. Okay, looking forward. Now I know you have time because you already are in your fancy office. Okay, I've seen it. I know you have the time to join us. Okay. What else is here? I have some new comments, of course. Thanks for the research. Thank you, you guys. What else is here? We have, can you start series on Django application on production level? I will eventually. Yeah, Django is on the list of things I need to cover. I have so many Flask tutorials, and I've been very discriminative when it comes to Django. So yeah, it is on a list. We will do it. But first thing first, I need to do a Tkinter tutorial, which is something I've been promising for a while. I need to make a new one, and one that we can connect a database to. So full disclosure, I started with a much more complicated application. Okay, I was working with a few databases of different kinds of recipes. Okay, so there was like one database for desserts, one database for for soups, things of that sort. I took a step back. I decided to make it a more simple application, and then if we want to take it another step further, we can do it as well, right? We can build it step by step. But at first, we will start with a basic application, not using classes. Okay, I was about to use classes, but then I've seen how overcomplicated the script looks like. So we will build an extremely simple Tkinter application with some sophisticated features. Okay, it's going to be very interesting. That I'm hoping to release by the end of the month, as well as the Numpy tutorial I've been promising you guys. Another project I have on the go, and hopefully I'll be able to stream it this weekend, is a Twitter bot. Okay, I'm really looking forward to it, guys. I hope you will build your own Twitter bot as well, because just for the sake of the experiment, right? Let me actually pull that out. If we're already here, let me pull out this Twitter post by Elon Musk, of all people. So, oh, look at me. I'm streaming live. Perfect. So Twitter works. Amazing. So we have this post that the Twitter deal is temporarily on hold because we don't know if 5% of the users are bots or more. And my argument is, like, it's very hard to find out exactly the percentage of bots you have on a platform, because some of them are more sophisticated than the others. You know, it's I don't know, you guys. It's interesting. So I'm proposing an experiment. Okay, how about we will all create a bunch of bots, and we will see if they are being detected and deleted by Twitter. I think it's the best way to check it, if you ask me. I want to see what you guys are saying about it. Okay, let's see. Nice. I just started trying to create a Twitter bot in JavaScript. Interesting. I'm using Selenium for my bot. It's a bit more complicated. See, the thing about Twitter, I'm surprised that it's not as easy as LinkedIn and Instagram in terms of scraping and in terms of building bots. And the reason is, a lot of the elements here, they do not have any special characteristics. So when you, for example, when you look at this in this like tag, right? It's a div. Sorry, guys, I'll enlarge it a bit. It's a div with a very ambiguous class. My head is blocking it. A very ambiguous class. Now, when you compare it to platforms like Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook, they're very informative. So usually the elements, they have a class of some sort. They have an idea of some sort that is not an abstract, a very weird class with some letters. Like, for example, the username input has the name of username. The password input has the name of password. So it's very easy to target these elements. Now, in terms of Twitter, that's not how it works. You need to target it by index. So what I find is, when all the options fail, when you have no easy way of selecting elements, you just go by their index. And that's unfortunately what we have to do with Twitter. But still, it's doable. Okay, we can write some really nice bots there. Let's see what we have here in the comments. The API is very complicated. Okay, I'm not using API. I'm using Selenium all on its own. And we will forget about it. Nick Luz, forget about it. We will do this together on the weekend. Don't spend too much time on it. I already figured it out. I'm just missing the last piece of the puzzle. I was able to like a post with my bot, but then when I tried to apply it on several posts, some unexpected results happened. I suddenly fetched all those news articles along the side. It was something about Johnny Depp, and I'm like, I'm not looking for Johnny Depp. I'm looking for Python. Why are you shoving it in my face? But I'll figure it out, hopefully today. That's what I'm planning. And then on the weekend, we will do a nice stream. Okay. It's better if they do make Twitter open source like NVIDIA did recently. I thought so at first. At first, I was like, all the problems that social media has will be solved if we go open source, right? Because then these mysterious algorithms that prioritize one post over the other, they will no longer be mysterious, and we will know exactly what to do to get our post appearing at the very top. That was one thing I believed. And then after starting to use Twitter, I realized that that's not the main issue I have with social media. So you guys probably know about me that I wasn't on social media for a very long time, at least half a year. I've been off Instagram. I've been off Facebook. I don't even have a Facebook anymore. Sometimes I popped into LinkedIn, and I mostly use YouTube, which I don't really consider as a social media network because this is where I work. That's what I do. It's a job. Now, when it comes to going back to social media, I created this Twitter account of mine, and I did start using this platform. What I find, it's very addicting. Very addicting. So yeah, making it open source will make it better, but I don't know if it will actually make people happy. I don't think that's what prevents people from being happy. I think the fact that you are planning to go and see what's new on Twitter, and you're planning to be there for a minute, and you end up spending an hour there. You see some kind of an article, you see a few posts, and you start arguing with strangers and all kinds of stuff, or just keep reading in the feed. Now, what I find that mostly triggers it, it's this notification. So if you have Twitter on your phone, you will be notified about every like, you'll be notified about every comment, about every new follower you have. This is not something that YouTube is doing by default, okay? Now, I find that after I turned off all these notifications, now when it's not being, it's not really popping on my phone, I find that Twitter is much more tolerable, okay? And it's not like a lot of people are adding me and liking and doing things, but it's just every time you hear this ding on your phone, it's like, it reminds me of the experiment of the dogs of Pavlov. It's like dogs that every time they eat, they hear a bell. And then when they hear this bell without food, they start salivating. Same goes with this notification sound. Every time you hear it, it's like, oh, there's something new for me. Oh, I have friends. They're talking to me. And then you notice it's somebody liked a post. Oh, okay, well, thanks for letting me know. I don't know if it's important enough for me to stop working just for that, but yeah, that's how I find it. But yeah, if you guys find that something about social media makes you unhappy, something about social media is odd, and you're kind of stuck in life, try at least for a week to tune out of this social media and see if it has any effect of your life, because it had a huge effect on mine. A huge effect. And everybody told me, Maria, you are so stupid for deleting your Facebook. How can you do it? You have a YouTube channel. You need to promote it. It's one of the best things that ever happened to me, because after I deleted my Facebook, I stopped advertising on Facebook and I started to focus on YouTube. I started to focus on your comments, on what you guys have to say, because you're the ones who are watching those videos primarily. People on Facebook, they can like my post, they can write a comment under this post, but it doesn't mean that they're actually going to watch it, right? People on YouTube are actually watching those videos. So I much rather interact with you directly than with, people across different social media networks. But the beauty of Twitter is that I don't have many followers at this point of time. So if you have any questions, I'll definitely be able to reach you guys much faster, right? Because there's not a lot of buzz going on. It's becoming more difficult on YouTube, and this is why we are figuring out this live stream kind of thing going on. I still want to have the ability to talk to you guys. Oh, hello, Udvav. So we have already learned. We're actually, oh, I have a package coming to my house. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, we were just learning about PyScript, which is a brilliant way of running Python from an HTML document. There you go. This is a really nice example of how you can do this. It's not something we could have done earlier. Yeah, now we can. It's a huge milestone in Python. We cannot do much with it anymore at this point of time because we cannot. Sorry, guys, I need to let them in. I don't know why they're driving me crazy. Somebody brought a package to my house and they cannot figure out the intercom thing. My apologies. It's probably Amazon and it's probably another piece of equipment for my computer. Okay, let's see what else we have here in the comments. Okay, lol, complaints about notifications. Oh, I have a package coming to my house. Yeah. That's right. It's very ironic. Okay, they have lots of Facebook hates. YouTube is way to grow. Yeah, I think that specifically in terms of computer science and people who are developers, we don't appreciate social media as much as other people, because we know that it's, we know that the main purpose is not to make us happy. It's not to make us connected. The main purpose is to keep us engaged. Okay. So engagement doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be happy about this engagement. In most cases, engagement means you are so outraged right? You're so angry that you just have to keep arguing with a stranger and keep proving them that you're right and not them, right? Okay, let's see. Hi, could you please make series playlist for DS databases? DS and algorithm in Python. That will be data structures and algorithms. Okay, sure. Yeah, for sure. It's something I've been planning for a while, searching algorithms and things of that sort. And I know that this whole big O notation thing is very confusing and it's very difficult. The reason why I know it is because it's confusing and difficult to me. Okay. So I know that a lot of people are struggling with this, I assume. Okay. So I'll simplify it in the same way that I like to simplify things, and I will convey it here as well because it's very important. Okay. So if algorithms are good, well-written algorithms are more important than, computer equipment. So you can have the best CPU in the world, but if your algorithm sucks, guess what? It will take him days to run it. But with a relatively slow computer, a well-written algorithm will run much faster. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely look into it. Woo, so many comments since I read this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna go up with the comments because I've seen a bunch of questions there, and I'll go down, and we will in about 30 minutes we will finish this stream. So hopefully I'll get to all your comments here. Do we need data structures and algorithms for data science? Yes, it's one of the most important things you need. Okay, data science, it's all about dealing with different data structures. Okay, so sometimes you would have a CSV file that is comma delimited. Sometimes you would have a text file. Sometimes you would have to fetch things directly from the web. Sometimes you'll have to do web scraping in order to get your data going on. Sometimes, actually, these are junior positions in data science. That's actually, I had an informational interview with somebody who works in the field, and he told me that the very first steps of a data scientist entry-level position is to assemble databases. So for example, let's say that you have let's say that you are trying to build some kind of a autonomous vehicle. So your job is to go and collect videos of roads. Okay, so either you need to approach certain car manufacturers who have this camera installed and fetch this information directly from them. Either you need to film it on your own, things of that sort. So you need to be able to organize this data properly and logically. Okay, this is why you definitely need algorithms and you definitely need data structures. Okay, so with algorithms, you search within the data structure, and there are different search techniques. There's different ways to do this. And with the data structures, you basically store everything in a logical location so that not just you, but also your colleagues or anybody who wants to use your database after all will be able to use it. Yeah, MongoDB. Okay, so MongoDB is a NoSQL database, which is something I will definitely do in the future. It became very popular in recent years because this is not dealing with tables. I believe you can do tables, but you can actually have a different data structure to work with databases. So yeah, MongoDB is on the list. Don't know how long it's going to take. Okay, this is a question I already answered. How do you become so good at Python? You practice. Practice. I do this since 2018. This is where I learned Python. And my journey with Python was very interesting because the first thing I learned about Python was machine learning and artificial intelligence, which is not the first thing you learn with Python in general. Okay, so I really I have some skin in the game there, but it's a really crazy move. So you start with the basics and then you continue to some easier topics. I had no idea that Python is a thing before I started to learn artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay, I could have just easily went for an R course. Oh my God, I'm so happy I didn't. Okay. But I was concerned with more the AI part of things rather than the Python. And then during this course, I discovered how amazing Python is. So I don't know, I fell in love. I didn't want to use any other programming language at this point of time. And the reason why you think I'm so good in Python is because I am filming those tutorials almost on a weekly basis. So imagine all those tutorials you see, it's projects that I've researched. It's things that I've read in the documentation. It's things that I wanted to make sure that I'm giving you the right information. So sometimes I double checked and triple checked. And yeah, sometimes I miss things. It happens to all of us. And sometimes I noticed that I messed it up during the editing stage. Okay, so full disclosure, the NumPy tutorial I just posted, it was much longer. I redacted a lot of parts from it because I annoyed myself and I didn't want to annoy you. But that's one of the problems of doing this for a certain period of time. You have higher expectations from yourself and you very judgmental. You become very, very judgmental, and that's where I'm at this point of time. Cool. And yeah, so in terms of this growth on YouTube, I would go for organic growth time and again, because you need to be ready. You need to prepare yourself, right? There's nothing better than, posting a video, it goes viral and the entire world is now knows you and, oh, look at you, you're so fancy. It's great. It's amazing. And I believe it happened in certain cases. But if you take your time, if you do it right, if you build some sort of a progress, people do appreciate it, I think. And I don't think that those viral videos, they have a lot of, you don't really, you see this one video, but you don't really have a relationship with that person. You don't, you've seen him once and that's it, so there's a plus side to fast growth and there's a plus side to slow growth. My particular perspective on this YouTube channel is I didn't start it. I didn't start it to make it like an official thing that I do. I started it to find a job. I couldn't find a job because I was a junior developer and I was looking for a job when COVID just started, right? So junior developer is somebody that needs to be in supervision all the time, right? So it was very hard to find a job. So I thought maybe I'll be able to stand out among my competition. And thanks to you guys at this point of time, I don't even need to think about that. In the end of the day, that is something that solved a huge problem without me even intending to solve that problem. I'm surprised to have so many people here, but that's why I work so hard. In the end of the day, that's why I try so hard, because I know that you guys are here, right? It's not just myself posting things for myself, it's for you guys. And there's nothing better than just reading comments and seeing that, oh, Maria, I was struggling with ABC and now I know it so well I can teach other people, or I had a project at school, I was really struggling with it, I was about to get like 50, but then I saw this video and now I got like 95. To me, those comments worth everything, right? I don't care spending a week of work as long as in the end of the day this is going to help somebody, and I do see through your feedback that it is helpful. So that's all I need, you guys. And thank you for all the support. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's just, it is what it is. Tobs, I deleted my Facebook when I lost my job. Mental hat. That's right. Yeah, Facebook is, I'm much happier after I deleted it. I gotta admit. And I was connected to a lot of community groups. So like the Jewish community group here and there's all kinds of local groups that we were in contact with. And in the end of the day, what I started to find was, instead of, actually having positive conversations with my friends and family and things that are people who I actually care about, I ended up having conversations with strangers who do not know me. And in most cases, it was arguments, right? Because that's what you usually do with strangers on social media. And when I stopped focusing on that, I thought to myself, I don't know these people. They don't know me. Why do I try so hard on proving them that my point of view is the right one? It's not my place, right? So that's why I'm off Facebook. That's the primary reason why I deleted it. And I was also a bit afraid. There's just something about Facebook's algorithm, and that's not the one that prioritizes one post over the other. That's the one that somehow modifies the code of the web page. Like I was making a Facebook scraper, and the code that worked perfectly a day earlier did not work the next day. The link, the URL, the name there, just something changed about it. It was bizarre. The same script that I ran on Instagram 2 years ago is still relevant. It's still working, right? But somehow with Facebook, a day after, something changed. Whew, I don't know. I don't think there was enough time for a developer to jump on board and say, okay, well, I want to prevent this bot from happening, so let me change this. I think it just happened automatically, which is scary. Yes. So let's see. I've been off Facebook for years now. The best thing I ever did. See, I'm not the only one with this. I think that if there's something about your life that you're not happy with, maybe try disconnecting from social media for just a tiny bit. And if not from all social media, try starting with Facebook, then, go experiment and see how it affects you, because it had a really positive effect on me. And I need social media to advertise this channel, right? I need it in order to get more people to see, and yet I choose not to participate in it. So that just tells you how, how big of a difference it made in my life. Turtle. I don't know if I'll make a turtle series, but I will definitely make a tutorial on turtle. This is an alternative to OpenCV, and a simple alternative to OpenCV. There's more things you can do with OpenCV, of course, but yeah, it's a nice library to draw things. Sure, definitely. I don't know when, but I will. Do we need to learn data? It's another. I've read this question 1,000 times already. Okay. And this is just Dark Wolf. Hello, Dark Wolf. Thank you for joining us. Talking to Udbav. What else? Okay. Please vote below if you would marry and have children with a Twitter bot. Well, depends. Depends. Okay. It could be, there's different bots. I don't know, Tobbs. I wonder, actually, I wanted to show you my, yeah, I don't think I can access it at this point of time without showing you the password or everything. I wanted to show you my bot that I made on Twitter. So usually what you do with bots is you set them up with a nice profile picture, right? You don't just leave a, it's very suspicious when you don't have one. You select a name. My bot is Lily Potter 38. Okay. There's a description. I like cats and I like programming. You make it sound human and off you go, right? So some bots, they can be really fancy, right? So I don't know. There's bots and there's bots. Okay. What else is here? Okay, well, I've seen these comments. Let's see a bit below. Richard is using Facebook for dating. Okay, this is a good idea, actually. This is a great way to meet people. I met my spouse physically, not in an application. But yeah, we were actually applying for the same job, and we met during the interview. I don't know if it's a stupid question. It's never a stupid question. You can ask me everything, honestly. But does PyScript work on something like React.js? I don't know. I'm not the best person to ask this. I did not work with React very often, but I've seen it briefly in one of the applications from the the previous code jam, but I don't have enough knowledge about it to talk about it. And we don't know much about PyScript at this point of time, so it may as well be. I don't know. Okay. I am also an advanced Python developer, but the reason behind why I'm here is I just want to say you're beautiful. Thank you. And you have an amazing voice. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Actually, today I woke up with a sore throat. I almost canceled this stream, but then I thought to myself, I actually find that the best cure for not feeling well is just pretending like you feel really well, you feel amazing. And then I don't know, you don't hear any issues with my voice at this point of time. I feel like I healed. It's a matter of a state of mind. Let's see. Go outside and touch the grass from time to time. Yes. Do some activities, meet some friends, leave the house. I try to do this on the weekends. During the week, it doesn't happen very often. And in Vancouver, it's kind of tough because the outdoors is very rainy at this season. But yeah, it's near kayak season. I'm ready with all my camping gear. Can't wait. Okay. We've done this. Okay. Your favorite GUI Python library. I would have to say KVMD. And it's not just because KVMD is here on this stream. But when I tell you my favorite, it doesn't mean that it's the best. It's the one that I find intuitive. It's the one that I find easy to work with. And so far, in terms of styling, I think KVMD has the upper hand in terms of simplicity as well. Because Kiwi is very nice, but I think it is lacking some styling option that KVMD does provide you. Another thing that I find interesting about Kiwi and KVMD is the fact that you can then convert it into a mobile application, which is not something you can do with Tkinter. It's very, very interesting. That's my favorite. Tkinter is my least favorite. Okay, it's one of the most popular ones, and I use it, and it's fine. And as long as you are not dealing with classes, as long as you are organizing everything on, on the global scope, I can more than just tolerate Tkinter. I think at this point of time it's very easy, but we rarely do this on a global level. We usually organize everything inside special classes, inside special functions, and this is where Tkinter becomes very difficult to grasp. Like, if you've seen the code of the original application I was building, I told you I've downsized my Tkinter application, you would be like, Maria, this is not simplified. Okay, so I simplified it. We are not working with classes at this point of time, but working with classes in Kiwi and KiwiMMD, I find it to be much easier. Okay, but this is just me. Different people have different preferences. Different people have different So for example, I'm focusing a lot on the styling, but some people will focus on the speed. Some people will focus on the ease of access to other libraries and things of that sort. So it's all up to you. A research project could be looking at different iterations of the Facebook page you mentioned. I know I can't even remember the name of my bot when it comes to Facebook. I left, and I'm glad I left. So right now the focus is mostly on Twitter, because everybody's talking about Twitter bots. But after, yeah, we can definitely do some more research on Facebook as well. I don't like supporting Facebook, but it is what it is. I used to like Mark Zuckerberg many, many years ago. I don't find him to be as likable at this point of time. There's all kinds of reasons for that. Yeah, and I have friends working in Meta and stuff like that. It's all good. It's just that and I guess building a bot on a platform is not exactly supporting it. Hey, okay, well, okay, we'll do a Facebook bot. Yeah. Sorry, Tom. We will do this. Don't tell your bosses. Or maybe tell them. Let's do an experiment. Let's see how easy it's being easier, if it's being detected a bit easier, and if it's being deleted on time. Okay. I hardly log on Facebook anymore these days. All I have now is Messenger. Yeah, it's cool. I have a lot of friends who would do that as well. I think my spouse has a Messenger, even though it's not on his name. Okay. What else? Okay. Research project. Okay, so cool. I can see that we're almost done with all the questions. Maybe 2 last questions. Okay, so there's troubleshooting with folks. I'm finding it hard to set up environment for Python in Ubuntu. Are you working with Anaconda? So I actually have a really nice tutorial on Ubuntu in particular. So let me actually send you the link. Actually, if we're already here, let's go into Studio. Actually, no, I'm not allowed to go into Studio. Let's just go into my channel. YouTube Python Simplified, or just look for the Anaconda tutorial. So Anaconda Python might find me here. No, I'm not here. What? I'm not even in the first page of searches. Oh, no, you guys. Okay. Now we are. So this video, this Anaconda guide for Linux and Windows, should get you up to speed, because it's particularly on Ubuntu. Okay, that's just how it should work. So just follow it. I think that the main issue, okay, let me just silence it out. Let's wait for this commercial to end. I think the main issue is somewhere around this this point of the tutorial, the bash rc command. Okay, in a lot of cases, you are not inside the base environment. And I'm just trying to look for this part of the video. Bear with me, guys. Sorry, it's important. Every time I'm installing a new version of Linux, I have to revisit this tutorial, because the command of the bash rc is here. Actually, it might be here. Conda create name env. Yeah, so that's one after. I think that should be around here. So there's an error that's going on because you're not inside the base environment, and then you need to access this base environment first, and only then you can go further. Okay, let's see. And it should be here. That's right. Source bash rc. There you go. This should solve it. Okay, so I hope this answers your questions, Anirban. Okay, what else is here? Ooh, so many comments since then. Wow. Is Kiwi better than PyQt5 or not? It's a matter of perspective. I think that in terms of the license you use, you need to watch out with PyQt5, because I don't think it's a... I think you need special permissions. Kiwi, you can use it commercially as well. That's just from the top of my mind. So let's see. If an environment variable path is okay, that's an answer to Anirban. PyScript has potential. It gets so much hate though. Yeah, because it's new, right? It's new and it doesn't have a documentation. But I don't find that it's a big deal. I think that there's a beauty in shooting in the dark. You know, maybe you'll figure it out, and then you'll feel extra smart. To a Myspace bot. Oh my God. Are there any people on Myspace at this point of time? I used to use Myspace when I was a kid. But yeah. Facebook spam bot. Well, I don't have a Facebook spam bot, but I do have a Instagram spam bot. You can find it on my GitHub. I had an imposter on Instagram, and they were pretending to be me. And I'm not just gonna let them, you know? So I've been attacking them. Nobody detected my bot, right? Because two things. Remember, to make a good bot, actually, maybe three things, okay? So the first thing you need to do is to use Selenium, okay? When you use Selenium, you have a special browser window popping out, okay? In this browser window, there is no way of making a distinction between an actual user or some automated code, because what the server is seeing, like the requests, are being done by a browser window rather than by code directly. So whenever you work with headless browsers, you will get blocked almost right away, okay? So use Selenium. It's very, very, it's my piece of advice. Now, the second thing is make sure you have random wait times in between executing your commands. We can usually do this with time.sleep, and that's it. And then you decide if it sleeps 2 seconds, 3 seconds, right? And usually we would generate some kind of a random figure from 0 to 10. You know, and different times, different iterations of the bots, they will have different wait times in between. So this is a way to solve the wait time, because one way to detect you as a bot is to see if there are the same interval between of time between sending messages, right? So if you send messages every 3 seconds, it's very easy to detect you're probably not a human. You know, humans, they're not as precise. Another thing is randomize your comments. So if you're spamming somebody, do not spam them with the exact same comment. Change hello to ahoy once in a while. Change ahoy to hi, or change, you know, the name in some creative ways. Concatenate all kinds of random phrases to create your comment. And I find that this is enough to bypass a lot of the blockers. A lot. Okay. Let's see. A very newbie question here. Let's see. Are the imports libraries for Python written by random people or people associated with Python author? And in this case, is Python more or less just a collection of mini programs inside a language? I think that some Python modules are you know, can be written by private people. KiwiMD, for example, like it's a big library, but it was written by a private person. So I think that there are a few libraries that are written by Python themselves, like random, for example. But when it comes to Numpy, when it comes to Pandas and things that are that need to be imported, right? Actually, need to be installed, not imported. Sorry, because we need to import everything. But it's a combination. It's always a combination. It's I think that if you go to look in the documentation of each library, you can see the authors of it. I know that PyTorch, I believe, was written by ex-Facebook employees, these sort of stuff. So yeah, it's actually a good question. It's not exactly a newbie question as well, because it's something that people are just, you know, when you learn programming on your own, you end up learning what you need in order to make things work, but you don't end up learning all the theory behind it and you know, everything step by step properly, right? So you could be very proficient with Python. You could have imported so many different libraries and you never actually looked at who wrote those libraries and where they actually come from. It's something, it happens to me all the time. I've started learning programming on my own, and now when I have this university experience where they teach me step by step everything, I realize how much I skipped. And I didn't skip it on purpose. I just skipped it because I didn't find it necessary at this point of time. But now, after I already learned the basics, learning about some of the, for example, computer hardware, learning about computer hardware really improves your programs in the end of the day. For example, Numpy, you can either be very specific with Numpy, you can be very ambiguous. But if you're being specific, your program runs faster. It's things like that we learn along the way. And that's one of the disadvantages of learning on your own. The advantage is, however, if they wake you up in the middle of the night, okay, and they ask you about an error that you were able to solve on your own, you'll remember it forever. Okay, if you learned it in school, you may forget it along the way. Okay, but if it's something you struggled with for a long time, you have scars, you have battle scars about it, and yeah, it's usually really nice. Hello, Ozgan. Thank you for the interesting spelling. Actually, a lot of people in Finland, I believe, this is how they spell Marija, because there's a singer, Tarja. She spells her name like this. She's an opera singer. She used to sing in Nightwish. And after they fired her, I don't listen to Nightwish anymore. Okay. She's good at doing live streams. Thank you. How long have we been watching? 2 days. Thank you, Tobbs. Time passes fast when you enjoy. And, you know, if I didn't have your comments here, there's no way we would be streaming for so long. So thank you for all the amazing comments. And I think I really like this... I really like this environment that StreamYard provides. So yeah, we're gonna do a bunch of more of these. Cool. I try to use 223 to help with different Pi versions. I'm not familiar with 223. I'm using Anaconda for this. This is my go-to tool, and that's why, you know, PyScript was. That's why I discovered PyScript, because I'm following Anaconda. It could be good as well. I'm not sure. Anaconda is the first thing I've learned of how to run Python. And throughout the time, I found it to be the most convenient for me. The only times that I do not use it is when I'm using WaveScript, because I don't really need a terminal in this case. But any other case, yeah, terminal is my go-to tool. Anaconda terminal is my go-to tool whenever I use. Yeah, it's just convenient for me. PyQt5 is a good choice for build desktop apps with Python. Yeah, it's a great choice. I have a nice tutorial on it. You can check it out in my GUI playlist, which it was a trivia game. Yeah, trivia game with PyQt5. You can find it on my GitHub as well. It's a really nice project, very pretty. Actually, let me pull it out if we're talking. I just want to have a nice visualization for you guys. So let's go to my GitHub. So github.com/Maria Shah. Okay, and in here, you can see the most popular repositories. One of them is the trivia game. Okay, that's the PyQt5 application I built. Another PyQt5 application I'm going to show it to you right now. Not a lot of you are familiar with it because I didn't cover it on the channel. Okay, it's called What the Flower. It's an artificial intelligence. It's a deep learning neural network that is doing all this. Hopefully, I can find it here. Actually, I should have just looked for it. Flower image classifier. That's right. Yeah. So there you go. This is What the Flower. You upload an image of a flower, and then my neural network classifies it for you. And this GUI was also built with PyQt5. It has a very convenient syntax. And again, those specific beginners tutorials, I'm using them on a global scope. I'm not using them with classes. So it's very easy if you just started your journey. It's good to start from it. You don't need to be an expert to create applications with Python, and that's kind of what I'm trying to convey on the channel. But yeah, eventually I'll show you how to do everything properly with classes, things that you can actually build professional applications with. For now, these are for educational purposes, and we focus on making things work. Okay, not on improving them at this point of time, but we will soon. Okay, what's for dinner today? I don't know. It depends what I'll be cooking. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, I've been really bad with cooking lately. I've been busy with other stuff, but gotta go back on track, you guys. Really, really need to. Okay. Can you make a series of videos about networking with Python? So you mean like requests and things of that sort, or mingling with people in the industry? Networking can be interpreted in two other ways. Sure, I'll need to do a post and get video anyways, right? Something about databases, 3-tier applications. It's something on my list. Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to focus on things that I have right now on the go. And once I'm done with them, I can move on with some other projects as well. And one of the projects I'm dealing with is going to be the code jam on our Discord. So very soon you'll see it. Okay. What do you think is going to happen with Python Anvil now with PyScript? I don't think it's going to affect Anvil much, because Anvil is sort of a Photoshop for websites. In the end of the day, you drag and drop tools. You have a nice interface where you get to this. Hi guys, sorry, my computer died. Okay, my Windows, something got wrong with Windows. Something got really messy. My apologies on that. Again, Windows 11. You guys, Windows 11. I do not recommend it at all. My apologies on disappearing. So if we disappear again, this is an unexpected technical problem with Windows. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Sorry about this, you guys. Let me enlarge my face. I'll be here for another 15 minutes just to say properly hi to everybody, because I don't know what's wrong with my computer at this point of time. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. So what Linux distro would you recommend? Right now I'm using Alma Linux. I do not recommend Ubuntu and things of that sort, even though it's very, very popular. I think that it's nicer to support, open source projects and things of that sort. Rocky Linux is something I tried briefly. Kali Linux. Udbav was helping me troubleshoot it on Twitter. I tried it too. It's really nice for if you're into cybersecurity and things of that sort, hashing, things of that kind. Kali is perfect for that. But in terms of the actual operating system I'm using, in the particular case of my laptop, not a lot of things will run on it. Okay, so Ubuntu is always giving me a very hard time on the laptop. So the operating system that works the best was CentOS 8. CentOS 8 is dead, unfortunately. And yeah, so the closest thing to it was Alma Linux or maybe Rocky Linux. But yeah, I will let you know once I figure out my favorite Linux distro. For sure, I will share it. But there's so many different ones. I recommend the open source ones, just because I support this idea a bit more than supporting, paid software. And yeah, Ryu, I agree. Linux is better than Windows in terms of the operating system. Now, some of the things this computer in particular is not exactly going to work well with Linux. That's why I don't have it here installed. And my spouse is also not going to really like Linux here. So that's another consideration. And yeah, so I think that Windows is getting all this hate because it's something mostly all of us are using. A lot of systems that are governmental systems, a lot of a lot of schools and all kinds of infrastructures of that sort are using Windows by default. So I think it just became kind of the go-to system, and I don't think it should have. I think we should have went the Linux direction, and we're still going there. Okay, a lot of people are contributing to open source projects. A lot of people are helping out to develop this industry, and hopefully, okay, one day I will have a very convenient replacement of Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. There are tools that we can use right now. I find them to be a bit buggy because I'm very the things I do with my graphics are very complex, I would say. I include both images and vectors, and this is where programs like Inkscape, which are open source, this is where they failed with combining those together very often. And I don't like losing all my information because the program crashed similarly to what happened right now with my Windows. Okay, so yeah. What else is here? Do you think by using PyScript, we don't need to use Flask or Django with Python since it would be easier to develop? See, Happy Day from Norway. Yeah, hi, Happy Day from Vancouver. I don't think it's a direct replacement. No, because when you use PyScript, you don't really interact with a server, so you don't really make requests to the server. And usually websites, the modern websites we are using, they all consist of GET requests, POST requests. You also have a database connected to this entire beauty, right? So having a backend is very important, right? So this allows you to run Python without a backend, okay? But if you need backend, of course, Flask and Django are there, right? But if we're building an extremely simple application, only consisting of a few documents, we don't really need, to go for something as fancy as Flask or Django. We can just use similar characteristics to how we use JavaScript, right? Because not every web page I'm building with JavaScript would have, a JavaScript backend, right? So it's not replacing the backend. Keep that in mind, okay? We will still need Flask, we will still need Django, but we don't have to use them at this point of time. It's easier to share our Python script without them, okay? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see, what else do I have here? PyScript code just broke the live stream. That's right. Look at you, PyScript. What did you do? Favorite standard library module? Standard, I would say either random or time, because I use it all the time. I find it very convenient. These are my go-to standard library modules. I also use math a lot, but you cannot really compare the math module to Numpy. So it's yeah. Yeah, it did crash. Maria Bot needs to be recharged now. Yeah, Tobbs. Yeah. I ran out of battery. That's right. Cool. Yeah, sorry guys about crashing the stream. I'm gonna get into the comments right now. Recommend to all PyScript examples Mario. Okay, check out Mario. Crazy Metal. Sure. Yeah, did you have a chance to copy this URL? Check it out. Or should we check it together? I'm just afraid for the stream to crash again if I have too many pages open. But yeah, let's see. Let's copy this. Can I even copy it? No, I cannot copy it. No, I just need to type it from the get-go. So PyScript. Yeah. And we'll need, I guess, this is from the repository. Okay, never mind. Do it on your end. I don't see the computer very well. My apologies, you guys. I don't see, I see your comments, but I don't see the URL I'm writing on top. Okay, can you program a stream once a week? Yes, that's what I would love to do. That's my plan. I'm hoping to do this on the weekend, maybe. We'll see. Let's see. What would Python import system work for web development? Would it be way worse than JS? Only time will tell. We don't really know. At this point of time, it's all about speculations, right? And you know that when you're asking me things about Python, I will always be on the side of Python. Even though I really like JavaScript too. It's just something about Python speaks to me more. If we want to build a local database with PyKitty5 for trivia game with more than 20 questions, does it work better than JSON or SQL? Yeah, most likely, because you don't need to fetch any information from the web. You have it accessed locally on your system. I think so, yeah, probably. Yeah, try it. I always recommend things, but in the end of the day, it's all about trying them. And if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Oh, and I have my headphones on me all this time. Okay, great. Great, fantastic. Okay. Stealing that code, learning Qt ATM. Yeah, it's not about stealing, sharing. Take it. Enjoy it. I post my code so that you can do all kinds of stuff with it, even if it means commercial stuff. Honestly, whatever you want to do with my code, you can do with it. It's for you. Love the stream. You're super informative and also fun to watch. Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you guys for being here. Hi, Marie. I guess Marie. People in Quebec call me Marie, even though my name is Maria. Hi, everyone. What's your take on Django compared to Node.js? This is a great question. I bet you everybody has, very strong opinions on that. It's, I guess, in the end of the day, it's all about convenience. What I told you earlier, we all have different preferences, and it's all about trying. Yeah. So what's the advantage of Anaconda vs venv? So venv is only managing your packages, while Anaconda is also, venv is only managing your environments, while Anaconda is also managing your packages, your libraries, your installations, and your environments. So Anaconda is like venv combined with pip in the end of the day. That's how I find it. And Anaconda is a bit, actually, I think it's a bit better than pip, because pip is something you access from an online repository, while Anaconda is something is stored on your computer. That's why Anaconda installation is like a few gigabytes worth. You actually install all those packages on your computer. Okay. And thanks for the large font on the screen. Yeah, спасибо. Пожалуйста, пожалуйста. Безумный металл. That's the translation of crazy metal to Russian. Okay. Thanks for the video. It's awesome. Not a lot of people understand the value of your own experience compared to school knowledge. Yeah. Respect Masha. Mike, another Russian person for sure, like Ukrainian Russian. Misha, probably. Because everybody who calls me Masha is from ex-Soviet Union region kind of a thing. This is the short name for Maria. It's like Sasha in Alexandra. It's the same thing. That's how we say it where we come from. Awesome. Yeah, I think that having your own experience is more important. Okay, but I'm saying that while I'm getting a computer science degree. Okay, so it's important, but if you have the ability and the means to get the proper certification, it will help you more in life. So yeah, you can probably find a job if you don't have a degree, but it will take you more time to look for it. And after you find that job, if God forbid something happens and then you need to look for another one, you might be in a bit of a disadvantage, because sometimes companies prefer even fresh students who just finished their computer science degree, but they know for a fact that they were trained on the current standards on the industry. I've seen some people who worked years upon years, like tens of years in a company, gained a lot of experience, became like very, how do you call it, senior developers, right? They had great positions. And then when they were looking for work, they were actually, applying to same jobs as, kids that just finished university, just because it was difficult to because usually when you're a senior developer, you have all kinds of years of experience, and usually with that you have a computer science degree or of some sort. And human resource people, that's where the biggest problem is. A lot of those high-tech recruitment company, high-tech recruiting doesn't really happen with your actual boss. It happens with human resource people, and it happens with recruitment companies. What's wrong with me? Why can't I just say this word? And when it happens through them, they don't necessarily understand the value of how well written your code is, right? Because they don't necessarily come from the field of high tech. So they just have this very black on white list of like, do they have a degree? Do they have experience? Do they have this? And this is how they prioritize you over the others. So I find that there's something very wrong with this system of hiring. And I find that there is nothing that I'm more than halfway through my degree. There is nothing I learned during my degree that I couldn't learn online. And very often the way they taught me it during the degree, it was not as easy as they would teach me in Khan Academy or these sort of stuff. So everything is accessible. Now, if you have the will, if you have the time to do a computer science degree, but you don't have the money to do so, what I recommend, okay, is to search for example, the computer science program I'm taking. So BSc Computer Science, Coursera, University of London. There you go. That's the one I'm taking. So for example, we can go here. That's the page. No, that's not it. Sorry, guys. I think that's the one. If it opens. Yeah, accept cookies. There you go. So usually on these programs, you can find a syllabus. Now, I don't really see half of my screen, but program structure, models, and specification. Let's see, academic leadership. I think that would be here. So in certain places, you can actually download the syllabus, which is basically the step-by-step explanation of what you're learning. And then from that syllabus, you can then go ahead and learn all these topics on your own, right? Isn't that the equivalent? I would assume it is. Okay, so yeah, so let's do it in another time because I didn't research it earlier. I'm just trying to show it to you guys as we speak. But yeah, that's what I would do if I didn't study for that piece of certification, right? Because I study for the piece of certification. It is what it is. Cool. Okay. So perfect. So let me just double check. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Logan. Welcome to our little community. Little but growing. Yeah. Yeah, I am a metalhead. I used to listen to metal much more than I am right now. Right now I'm more in a different period in life. But yeah, I used to listen to a lot of metal bands. I was singing in a metal band. Okay, so reading the few last comments because we're already streaming this for over 2 hours. Holy smokes. Thank you guys for sticking around for all this time. Wow. But learning programming tutorials doesn't replace math, physics, linear algebra, exercise. So I didn't mean video tutorials. I did not mean, watching video tutorials, even though my university is online. So I'm studying everything from videos. But what I mean is like, when you're doing this on your own, you rarely use a single source for your school. Like whenever I learn something, I try to make sure that at least 2 or 3 sources are consistent with one another. And only if they're consistent, I move on, right? So sometimes one explanation will be easier, another explanation will be easier. But in terms of math, I don't know. I'm not sure about physics because I did not, so far, I'm yet to study any physics. Maybe it's for something very specific you need it. For robotics, probably you need physics. But linear algebra, and calculus, it's things that you can find online very easily. And I'm going to do a few tutorials on it as well. So it's things that are principles of programming, and you can find it both in academies and both in, articles, right, on Medium, all kinds of places. So university is very valuable. Again, I do a degree. Yeah, I don't recommend you not to do one. I'm just saying that if you do not have the means in terms of money, if you do not have, it's a lot of money to pay to those universities, a lot, right? And you don't want to start not always you want to start your life, as in debt, right? Because it's the situation of the economy in the world right now is not very good. So sometimes, you can see if you can start studying things on your own, and if it's enough for you to get a job. Maybe you don't need to wait 4 years to start working in high tech. Maybe you can do this faster, right? So it all depends on everybody's individual ability to learn in the end of the day as well. So yeah. Software in UC physics is mandatory. Not in my case. I do not have physics classes in my degree. I'm studying Bachelor of Science in Computer Science with specialization in AI and machine learning. This is University of London online program in combination with Coursera. Okay, no need to know physics in my case. Okay, maybe different universities have different. Maybe you're talking about software engineer. Okay, I'm talking about a computer science degree, BSc. Okay. Hi, Maria, as we used to say in Germany. Guten Tag, guten Tag. I know slightly bit of German, whatever Rammstein taught me. Maria, you didn't read my comment. What do you mean? Here's a proof. Sorry, I don't get to all the comments because by the time I'm trying to read, by the time I'm getting to your comments, I have new comments and it's very confusing. Yeah. Let's see. Same happened to me. Culinary. I don't know. What about this? Is it, you are my inspiration. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Happy to be here. Also metalhead. Yeah, that's right. Awesome. Perfect. What else? What else? Okay, last few comments and we are out. I know that, but it's still some position. Okay, this is you guys are talking with each other. I knew you're from CIS. So is it X computer software? CIS. What's CIS? Let's see. CIS. Gender, a person whose gender identity. Yeah. What you see is what you get in my case. I don't know these terms, honestly. I can't wait to be more active in Discord soon. Yeah, so soon we will actually have a nice code jam on Discord. Okay, so hopefully in the very beginning of June, probably towards the middle of June. Okay, so I think we'll start registration in June for sure. And then we will all be active on Discord. Okay, I'm going to do some support lessons as well because I want all your projects not only to be complete, but also to be fantastic and phenomenal so that people are really, really excited. This time we actually have some prizes. Really nice prizes, you guys. I don't want to reveal what they are at this point of time. I want to leave it a secret until the announcement is officially made. But yeah, the winning team, all the members of the winning team will win a really, really cool prize. Okay, let's see what else. This should let many Python newbies to dive right into web dev world. That's right. That's right. It makes Python much more accessible. It makes it much more easy to use, and it's awesome. Cool. So thank you so much for being here, you guys. I wish I had time to read all the comments. Yeah, the syllabus thing. Yeah, that's right. I think in the end of the day, it's all about. I think if you can prove to an employer that you do have that knowledge, and that you are, you really want to work in this job. So usually you do this inside a cover letter. So you have all those fancy projects you built on your own, you studied programming on your own, but you need to include in the cover letter the fact that everything happened because you are so motivated and because you are so excited about working in this particular company, and that you will never, ever, ever leave. I'll stay with you forever. I like you so much. It's me applying to Tesla. Oh, the only reason that I ever started learning artificial intelligence and machine learning is because I was inspired by, something about Tesla saying about autonomous vehicle or something of that sort. So if you have it in the cover letter, people will appreciate it, right? Because that means that you have some kind of a history with this company and you're excited about it more than just usual people. So you will most likely never leave. Okay. So yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm not the best person to give job advices, but hopefully part of the things I'm planning for the podcast is to ask people who found a really nice job in high tech, one of them who found it with a degree, one of them who found it without a degree, and compare between their journey. It's something I really, really would like to do. And yeah. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all your comments. I'm super happy to see you here. I'm super happy to see. I'll just keep clicking on your comments because the stream is about to end. So my apologies about all the technical disruptions and my Windows crashing and yeah. I'll see you guys very soon. Hopefully even on this weekend, right? I have a birthday on Sunday, but on Saturday, a day earlier, we're gonna do a nice. Hopefully, if I can figure out this Twitter bot thing, we should do a nice stream as well. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to see you guys there, and I will announce it. I will let you guys know in advance that there will be a stream, and we will do it really, really. We will do it really, really nicely. So thank you so much for all the comments. Thank you for all the thank yous. Okay, Aiden, there's still time until my birthday. It's on Sunday. You guys will be able to. I guess we'll talk on Saturday. Who knows? I might even stream on Sunday. I don't know. I'll probably be too busy cooking, but we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Bye bye, mom. You guys. Oh my God. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good day, good evening, good night, and I will see you very, very soon. Thanks again. Bye bye.